Well, okay, now I'm starting my time. I've been given about 25 minutes to 30 minutes to deliver my lecture. For all Nepalese students, you are the architects of tomorrow. I do my best just to share during these challenges, during this pandemic situation, because everybody here, you are the future architects. So keep calm, set positive mindset, gain the positive energy. So I do my best to serve this. It's not a lecture talk. It's just only a dialogue so that we can remark our minds that we are so busy studying from home, working from home, learning from home. But don't be busy. Let's be productive. So set our mind, loading our productivity level. Let's go for it because as smooth as what nature shows to us, it takes time, a kind of a limitation, but it's progressively beautiful growth within our life. Well, my dear students, you are the architects of tomorrow. You're learning architecture, studying architecture, and sooner or later you will be a Nepalese architects. Studying is life, as you know, not only for students like you guys, people like us, architects practicing, or also any profession, we keep studying because studying is a part of our life. But again, to face a new normal, yeah, this is a new normal. When we foresee that's our new friend, this virus, looking a good-looking virus, but again, it's so dangerous to human being. The world is no longer what it used to be. So I hope everybody stays safe. And then this is a part of challenges that we face now. I understand. When I ask my students in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, even my own staff, how to face these challenges, and it's a bit constrained among us. But for me, this COVID-19 coronavirus, even though is blunted and then is a kind of a new kind of challenges among in our life, but we keep asking ourselves how to move forward, how to face this. But this kind of question coming back to us as an architect, we besides frontliners, doctors, nurses, army, police, but we also a part of our profession to do the best vaccine against this COVID-19, where we are the one who provide a home for everybody, for people to stay on. So ready or not, to ready for the new normal, today we're talking about boosting our creativity and productivity. As you know that World Health Organization, my dear students, WHO has announced this pandemic. It will take many years to recover. So they come out with a SOP that everybody have to use masks. You need to taking care of yourself, your health, your cleanliness. You have to wearing your certain protection. As you know that everybody, start to be panicking and aware, but slowly it's become a new normal. And then people start to grow how to act it. And then this is a personal protective equipment that we should understand, and it should be learning, and it should be our own new culture in our daily life, because personal protective equipment is our protection. And then there are, when you're talking about a creative person like us, even a fashion designer start to take this opportunity to take this advantage, become their creativity to showcase their dress and so on. But a people, normal people, a layman, a human being, without any knowledgeable about design or arts, they start to taking their own creativity with this kind of limitation. They use their recycled materials, they can start to protecting themselves until go to beyond how to survive to deadly global virus. I know it looks very funny, but you have to understand those people are not designer, and then they start to go basic. You have to wear, even pets also, how to dress, how to protect themselves. So this kind of a measurement, the professional division of professional and people like normal people don't know nothing about design. It's about prevention, how to taking care of yourself, and then they start to embark to facing a social distancing, kind of during quarantine, a pandemic situation, people locked down, stay at home, and they're doing their own activity. And again, people start to wonder how teachers or the lecturers or the professors in the university at the school looks crazy talking alone on the screen, all the students studying from home, working from home. Even during any conference, they start to stay in a certain distance. But be aware that don't mix up yourself in the public, because this pandemic become a question mark. There's no vaccine yet. But at a school, a conventional looks like a very empty, and then start to imagine ourselves when we start to study at school, become a creativity versus productivity. So everybody start staying at home, working at home, learning from home. How to maximize productivity and creativity when you're working from home. Now the technology become our needs, students. People start to working from home, asking that how to make your space using your ergonomic and better from your condition. So be careful, because you need to make sure when you study from home, working from home, you have to make a comfortable situation from your ergonomic, because as you know, even myself, so when you start to working from home, you staying on the chair a certain long hours, you have to have a back pain and so on. But Deira, this is the things that you need to taking care of your condition as your logistic, because when you're taking care of your body, you know how to adjust your creativity and so on. By looking on this image, because this is a kind of a vintage social network before any technology will come in. But I just wonder, if people, how to react if the internet suddenly stopped and working and we had to suddenly revert back to the conventional ways. So this kind of a limitation that we need to get ready, and we need to look at. So because everybody have an ideas, everybody have their own tasks, they have their own scope of works and so on. There's so many things. But again, we already created a virtual community here, because everybody not looking physically, but we looking on the screen now. The kind of a new culture, new community that we talking alone, we staying at home with a certain condition where we know that outside is not safe. But as you know, when the first pandemic been introduced to all around the world, and then people start to be quarantined and locked down, and become a new habit, a new culture in daily life, that everybody had, to adjust themselves working from home now, with a certain gadget, a very good coverage, internet, Wi-Fi. But normally, commonly, mostly, people will start staying working at the kitchen area. Even myself also start, when I start to adjust myself when during lockdown, have to work study from in the kitchen area. But again, you need to define yourself where is the proper um, logistic that you need to study here. So number one, you need to define a good space for you and a good position. And I believe students love to stay this kind of conditions. And when you start to study from home, working from home during presentation on the screen, mostly I think everybody wearing no pants, just short pants and so on. Man, again, by looking on this image, we're hoping that the cost ergonomics, the anthropometrics around us, so what I'm trying to say to you, to share with you, to advise to all the students, setting up your place, working place, studying place at home, because now start to talking about the compact living style, where the spaces can become multiple usage, from a bed can become a dining, and the dining become an office area, and then it become multiple spaces, multiple usage. But again, when you go outside, now we start to go outside, there's certain SOP that you're going to face with a certain temperature to need to check, especially in Kuala Lumpur, they start to looking on this angle, and with the social distancing awareness. And then I just wonder how in the school or in the universities setting up to get ready. Is it going to be an open like this? Is it going to be relate to the environment? So then we start to realize this quality of space that you're going to face. Is it going to be claustrophobic indoor, or maybe start to wearing a certain kind of dress or fashion, or maybe people start to having fun working at the office. Even though the office areas start to get this approach of social distancing, people start to looking on the best circulation, the egress and egress, and there's no more certain spaces like what we faced it before. It's a conventional type. We wonder, is it going to be space that of high partition and a certain gaps, or maybe open hall meetings, conference, or even in the restaurants, it looks like very selfish. It's become versus productivity between and creativity. So working during a pandemic, my dear student, by looking from your eyes and then start to setting my first sharing moment is about how to set your mind actually. When you're looking on this angle, we should start to realize how to utilize your mind, body, and soul to have a connection. Because a very important symbiosis when you face this kind of challenges, this kind of limitation within our mind, body, and soul, it will bring a balance about us. So I hope that you can understand what I'm trying to say here. You need to set your positive thinking here, the positive mindset among us. Because without a positive mindset, whatever you do, you're going to be a lot of challenges to face, limitation and constraint. So what I'm trying to say, among us as an architect, we are a unique person because we have a certain mindset. We're talking about divide the growth mindset and also the fixed mindset. Because as a human being, left brain and right brain always communicate each other. Because when you're talking about the growth mindset, when you say to yourself that the challenges will help you to grow, you take this as a blessing, you want to move forward, I can learn and do better about this. But be careful as a normal human being, when talking about a fixed mindset, there will be negatively to talk to you that I know I can't do much, I'm a failure, I got my limits to my abilities and so on. So need to define your demarcation of thinking, because here I would like to share what President Anjumala has shared with our Acacia groups WhatsApp, talking about the intelligent quotient, the IQ part, because most of you are intelligent person, you are unique person. When you're talking about intelligent quotient on the left brain, don't forget we also have an emotional quotient, the EQ part, and obviously we have the SQ part, the spiritual quotient. Because with the interjection of our IQ, our SQ, and our EQ, it will bring balance, and you need to demarcate how to define your skill at home with the limitation like this, because you have to believe this is the opportunity to brush up your hard skill and also your soft skill. Because architects is a problem solver. We are good in communication to sell our design, collaborations with curiosity and communication, and so on with the creativity. I give us very simple example. You can do this after the talk. When you look to your hand now, in front of your hand, when you focus your hand, they have a 5 fingers that you can count. This is a very common growth mindset. But if you look beyond what I'm trying to say, when you look your hand, look beyond of your fingers, you could say more than 5 fingers. What I'm trying to say here, don't look your problem, don't look your challenge in front of you. You look the opportunity behind this. So this is what the symbol when you look your bare hand, by looking on the challenges. So don't limit your challenge, just limit your challenges. So as an architect, student architecture, you have to remember and you have to believe that we are kind of a learners with kind of a reflective by visualize, and also we have be active using verbalization. So what I'm trying to share here, we are many types of learners now. We have visual learners by looking, by seeing, kinestical learners by you act this, auditory learners by you when you hear. Some of the students, mostly they are stress learner. They always have this adrenaline rush, last action hero. They're always booking the last minute session, last minute condition. Maybe some of you as an ease learner, relax, scribble learners, you can write down, trust learner, teach learner, many learners. So what I'm trying to say, you need to define yourself, what type of learner you are. Are you a visual learners? Are you are the auditory learners? Or are you are the kinestical learners? So you have to define what is good about you, and because this is to derive the types of intelligence, because you have to believe this. All of you are the intelligent person. You are unique person, because we studying architecture, we are among intelligence. So from here, I hope you can browse from the internet, try to define what types of intelligence you are. And also imagine that the way you see are different, the way you look are different, the way you watch are different. So you have to define when you have the online class or during presentation through online and everything, you have to remember the way you see is without thinking. It's naturally when you see. But when you look, you need a focus, you need to concentrate. So to adapt your connection with your mind. And you, when you're watching, is something in action or moving. Same goes to when you hear and when you listen, it's different. So you have to define when you hear, you have an effort to focus. But when you listen, you're going to be easy. So I hope you can browse this so that you can understand what is different between see, look, listen, or hear, because this is a very essential part from yourself when you're facing this. Some other people start to think. Thinking outside of the box is a very common that we hear from everybody. Think outside of the box. Maybe today I would like to say that yeah, when you start thinking outside of the box, it's going to be like pretty inside, or maybe you can become more mainstream because you want to thinking outside of the box. But again, do you think that when you say that you're outside of the box, you can create your idea, creativity, throw out from your all from your mind, and then using your, you know, the method of thinking outside of the box, you have to go thinking beyond. Or maybe you have to think outside of the box by have to be cheating, because sometimes it's not about thinking out of the box. Sometimes you have to be smart into it. But how about thinking inside of the box? Is it going to be a power to creative constraint? But think like there's no box itself. Because for me, I don't think thinking outside of the box is like you have to think there's no box. Or maybe do not think outside of the box, just think that there's no box at all. Because when you think outside of the box, you can think that what you can do with the box itself. So this is a small exercise. By looking on this image, you go back later on, later after this session, you draw the line with the grid line. Can you just focus yourself how to break the limitation when you focus, there's a perimeter, there is a boundary beside you to create your creativity when you start to see there is a square, how to make up as a triangle, how to make up as a circle. So it's a small exercise for you guys, because the interaction between this thinking with the system thinking, development thinking, design thinking, when you produce a service and products, it becomes innovation thinking. With the constraint and creativity, my dear students, you're going to be innovator. Because from the screen here, there's 9 types of innovation. So you have to find out what kind of interest that you have, and also what kind of expertise you have. And again, constraint can breed creativity. Believe this, because limitation can create freedom. Creativity limitation can give you more time, can give you more freedom, can force you to create it, because the limitation can reveal true solutions and prevent stagnation and give action and encourage creativity. So creativity with the innovation, you're going to be light up. I give example, for example, a bottle of Coke. If after you using the Coke, the bottle will be thrown away. But if you can think beyond that, it can become recycled materials to produce a light sparks, and it become more so nicely. For example, I show from the screen, there is a village somewhere in the world. They have no electricity during the day, and then they make an initiative within their creativity. There's one architect came down to the village and using these recycled materials, and then they can mix up and light up during the day and become limitation, encourage more creativity using recycled materials, reuse and reduce the material, and end up it become beneficial for society. And then there are be creative with the limitations. Sometimes it can go beyond. And the most important thing, we as an architect, is about helping people, helping society. And then you use the creativity, go beyond that, using recycle, become a lights and so on. So this is what we call a beautiful constraint, my dear student. It's so colorful and comes from constraint any angle, and a big creativity, and then this can be force you to act and to move forward and think sharp and find a solution. With this creativity will come with the effort, the best indicator of your interest, and it's going to be attractive. Let's go beyond that, my dear student, because behind you, you got all your memories. Before you, you got all your dreams. And around you, all you love, you've taken care, and within you, all you need. You want to be outstanding. You want to be different. You want to be a sentiment of unique selling proposition. Dear future architects of Nepalese, let's dream big. Set your mind, you need to dream big. Let's go beyond, because we are dream makers. When I say we are dream makers, we make our people, our client dreams come true. So dream makers like us, we make the dreams become reality. Once you dream it, you have to believe it. Once you believe your dreams come true, you have to make sure you achieve it. Because dream with your mind, believe from your heart, and achieve with your talents and creativity. But out of limitation, we come creativity. Some of the perceptions say, can I go for it? Is it possible? Why not to do this? And so on. You need to change your perception positively that you can do it. Because creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Don't worry, students are allowed to be mistakes. But the art is knowing which one you do. Because at least you try. Yeah, you try. When you see the steps, a symbolic and analogy, you don't see the whole staircase, but you take the first step one each to another. Because with your courage, being yourself every day, you talking to yourself that you want to tell to the world that you're going to be somebody else. I always believe the method of 2 steps forwards, 1 step back. No need to be rushed, because at least you enjoy your journey. At least you go there, achieve your mission, still gets you to ahead. Be brave enough to be yourself, because you should be proud of yourself, because you need to allow yourself to be proud. And then the progress of you make, especially the progress that no one else has seen, no one has an experience, and keep telling to yourself, I am proud of myself that at least I tried to move forward. I would like to take the opportunity to take this quotes from Steve Jobs. The most important part is you need to love what you do if you want to do a great works. So love architecture is another sentiment for all Nepalese students here. You need to adjust to make yourself the interest to move forward. Don't forget, with the right attitude, with the good attitude, because attitude is everything. And the key for all my statement here is about sincerity. So the secret of sincerity to be success, and with the integrity and sincere. Archana, I got 3-4 minutes here, yeah?
Okay, fine.
Right, okay. To be start here, art and science, you need to define arts come with the soul, design with the principles, because with design, science and art will break even. And then the absence of limitation can speak the words unable to explain this, because whatever you face now is a beautiful journey, it's a free soul. With your knowledge, we need to improve your skill. Coming back to the understanding of fundamentals of design, the elementary of your arts and artistics, your talents, all the things is fundamental. You need to go, because you need to bring balance with your creativity. And again, be creative, we will be inspired and unlock your originality. From here, Archana, you mind that I can allow to share to the student, you need to strategize to yourself, because strategy will move forward with your objective. So share with you at home, plan your work and work with your plan with a positive attitude. You need to discipline yourself, because don't expect success with no discipline. You cannot achieve goal without discipline. So the time management to showcase your reflection of the tomorrow of leadership, time management is your life management, because time is very essential. I would like to advise you our daily life. We're talking about students architecture is about eat, sleep, design. When you do a time management, you can delegate your tasks, you can prioritize yourself and more focused and more proactive. But I encourage all the students, do your monthly planner, do your daily and weekly planner, so that you can list down what you're supposed to do, so that you can control your progression, your percentage, and so on. So I know everybody here always like last action hero, but better 3 hours too soon than 1 minute too late. So be careful of your deadline. I would like to share, most of the students have a very cliche reason that always not taking care of their computers, their PCs or their network, and they start to crash. And then, you know, this is a very common thing. Be careful, because our life is a very, very 24/7 activities. So if possible, that I will share, Achana, You have to know the creative of breakdowns, the marcation of your timing on daily. And I would like to share, go and browse these Pomodoro techniques, because it's a very good techniques that where you can decide your task to be done within 25 minutes, and then you have a short breaks, and then this is a task. Go and browse these Pomodoro techniques where you can improve your limitation skill in move forward. Especially you need to taking care of your logistic, and you can see here from the screen, because students need to be comfort. You know, you when you progress your things working in the team, you need a coaching in your winning team. Would like to share here, you need to define mentor and mentee here. Go and find your mentor, because mentoring system is very good for you. When you have challenges, you mentor block, define your mentor block with your mentor, and then they can keep sharing. This is, I'm still using until today, Achana. I have my own mentor. One more thing is about communication skill. If possible, to improve your communication skill, the way you present online is a very essential. If you got a time, go and browse YouTube how to improve your communication skill, because the day tomorrow is not about talking to people, it's about talking to yourself. Because don't overreact, don't overthinking, because when you're looking on this progress, students need to define themselves, look back at the progress, if possible, do some sketch, and then you know how to translate your soul of your design into the technical drawings, and then start to produce in the softwares, AutoCADs, Revit, you know, because this is a communication line that the most important for the students, because you in doing studying from home is a challenge to speak to your lecturers physically. So doing models another angle. So because when you're doing models, it's like you're talking to yourself, my dear students. You're talking what you do. You can feel the space, you can foresee the form, and with your satisfaction, and you keep your love into it, you know, when you do model. So we still got time a bit, Machana?
Yeah.
Okay. Because sooner or later, my dear student, the communication skill when you work with the team, there you are, I need to share. We try to focus winning teams, because sooner or later you're going to work with other profession as a team. So I advise all the students, you need to define how to improve yourself, keep experimental to your drawings, feel the texture, do some systematic collage. I know you need to discuss with your friends, even though online, because here, from here, I need to share here, when you're working with the team, it's like together, everyone achieve more. With their own good strategy, you need to be winning from your own, not only success alone, but success individually. So from the academician and for students, do browse the Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, a quick one. And then this is the one I need to share with you. During limitation, for me, I always believe when you teach each other, when you're sharing with your friends, when you start to practice doing this, it's more percentage rather than you reading alone. From here, I take opportunity, if you can, SONA can take this module, Soul, under this Dr. Zairul from Malaysia. So I hope I can share this later on, Achana, because Studio Gogi is another Pirology and Cybergogi, where we're giving a task for all the students to be accommodated with the team through online, a model system. And then the training system has been introduced to India, Indonesia, and Philippines. And hopefully this copyright can be shared to Nepal. Soul system. So again, student, create your own signature, because from step to another step, from one episode to another episode live, you want to achieve success. But again, my last word here, you need to be dream. Don't afraid of failure. Keep trying when you face failure. Stop trying if you feel it. You just keep moving on, because failure, my dear student, is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. So another thing, last thing, that main objective is about self-satisfaction. When you start to helping your friends, helping people, you need a beautiful soul, because the best part is the happiness in your life. So wake up with the determination, go to bed with satisfaction, because for me here, for all the students, it's your choice. Either you want to be a great architect, or the best architect, or the good architect, or happy and healthy architects. Again, find out your good attitude with your choice, because this is your life. You are the future architects. You are the dream maker, not a dream breaker. So chase your dream. And I understand Pain is temporary, but the pride is forever. By looking on this, always remember what I'm trying to share with you. In this life, there's no such security. It's only an opportunity. When you feel weak, be strong. When you feel scared, be brave. When you go ahead, moving forward, when you achieve success in one corner, be humble. Design your life the way you want to be, Nepalese students, because you are the creator of your own destiny. Always remember this: success is a journey, it's not destination. Do stay safe, stay healthy, stay cool. And let's pray for everyone's safety, keep safe. And let's loading our success reputation now, the architects of tomorrow. I will ending my session with a simple poem which already translated by architect Achana a few days ago. The poem's title is Remember Your Day. Okay, listen this. Good days will give happiness. Bad days will give experience. Worst days will give lessons to you. But the best days will give memories. The past days will inspire you. But the future days will build you. But today, my dear students, it will be your day. With that, thank you so much. I wish you all the best to all students. I leave to the floor to Achana. Thank you so much, Achana.
Thank you, Adrinda. It was such a wonderful and eye-opening presentation with insight into self-confidence, self-motivation, and that limitation brings opportunities as well.
Okay, thank
We
you.
expect someday we probably can have you here.
Yes, hopefully.
With this,
Looking
now
forward.
I'd like to continue the question and answer session and
Right.
request you to answer the questions individually as I read
Can,
them out.
can.
Okay, I would like to read the first question.
Yeah.
What are the possible ways to run our hands-on work, like practical classes like design, studio, construction, etc., after COVID-19 pandemic?
Okay, I didn't see the question on the screen here. Which one question? Is it from who?
This is from a chat box.
From the chat box. Okay, not on the question and answer, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, can you repeat the question because I'm looking the Q&A session here. Can
Okay.
you repeat the question?
Okay.
From the chat box. Can I open chat here? Where's the chat?
Yes,
There's
this
no
is
chat
called
here.
panelist. Yes, you
Okay.
can.
No, I cannot see the chat here. But never mind. You can read the question, Achana. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the possible ways to run our hands-on work, like practical classes like design, studio, construction, etc., after COVID-19 pandemic?
Okay.
How shall we run our hand-on work?
Okay. This is a good question. For me, you take this opportunity with this challenge when you is a kind of a constraint and limitation. For the best example that when you cannot work practically and you cannot do internship at the office, you take the opportunity how to polish up your skill by looking on the YouTubes, to try to browse from Google, for example. This is the best opportunity. You can improve how to do your Lumion, you do your Revit, your AutoCAD. When you take the opportunity to work online doing internship, your officers will give you a task through online. It's about your learning process, how to polish up your skill. Because I always believe after the pandemic situation will open the gate and you guys are ready to face a real world. After or during pandemic, you already improve your skill by not wasting your time. You're enjoying polishing your skill through internet, through Google, and then if possible, take a sketchbook. You can start to browse and everything. I mean, I'm trying to say, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep brush up your soft skill, especially, Achana.
Thank you, Adrinda. I would like to read out another question.
Yeah.
This is from question answer. You can also have a look.
Yes.
Some students are taking this period as a big excuses to be reluctant to their learning and responsive to teachers. It is
Yes.
difficult to work even when we have face-to-face communication with them, and it is difficult even more now. What are your suggestions for them? This is a question from Regina Bajracharya.
Okay, good question, Regina, because I had a student last 2 days ago asking the same thing. The suggestion is when you is don't make it an excuse to stop your your progress. You know, I know this is a bit constrained. It's different way because to say to you, you are a new generation to face this kind of situation. You have to study from home, working room, and it's a block, not facing physically with your lecturers and so on. How to make a progressive is don't giving up this situation. Always take this as a blessing. Set your mind, this is a blessing for you guys, because when you have a limitation into this, you will make more time and more freedom and to make it force to move forward to create more opportunities. Okay, for example, you have a limitation time with your lecturers, but take up initiative that you can call for your close friend and discuss among each other. The most challenging part, the more problematic that I can foresee here, Achana, the students hardly to communicate each other. For me, I always believe when you keep sharing each other, for example, your concepts are different and you have a limitation, discuss tutorial with your lecturers online. Why not you discuss with among your groups, your friends, close friends with your group, make a Zoom meeting among us and then keep sharing. So asking, Regina, what is your concept? Well, my concept is this. How about your concept? Okay. And then share each other. So what kind of potential that can improve among each other? Because working as a team is like together everyone achieve more. This is what I believe. Because architects, we have no excuse. We have to work as a team. So take this opportunity with this limitation to improve your thinking, to improve your progressive, not to study or working alone. You have to work as a team. One more thing, like I showed you in the quick slide just now, the mentor and mentee system. Go and find your mentor. Perhaps maybe your father or maybe your uncle. When you have a mentor block, take a break and then you talk to your mentor to inspire you. Maybe your own lecturers to inspire you. So sometime in this life, even you when you drive non-stop is not good. You need a break. So this is my suggestion for all the students in Nepal, not only for Nepal, even my country. So there's another suggestion that you need to define yourself. What is the best methodology you move forward? That's my answer to Regina. Hopefully it can beneficial to you.
Okay, thank you. And I also really think students should not stress out of this pandemic, rather
Yes,
see this as an opportunity.
correct.
I would like to read another question from Anonymous. In
Yeah.
your opinion, what students expect after this pandemic in architecture education?
Okay. My expectation. Maybe Architect Achana said that I'm a crazy architect to say this. Yeah. But I bravely to announce to all the students, especially to the architecture students, get ready. So I'll give example, a storyline here. You remember who invented telephone? Alexander Graham Bell. He got a problem with it here. And one day when he start to announce to all people that he gonna innovate a new technology that we're gonna talk to people a million miles away that we can call each other. And then people from there start to say, really? Are you sure? Because the perception. So innovation with perception say that, are you sure? But now, today, phone become our needs. Without phone, we become crazy. So what I'm trying to say, the expectation for architecture perspective, there will be a new technology talking about the screen, online screen and so on, and also the hologram technology. I tell you just now, Achana, you might say I'm a crazy architect, but I expect there will be hologram technology where you can work teaching from home. Your student from various home can have a visualized hologram teaching method, not only from the screen. For me, I brave to say this, my expression on education during pandemic is a blessing and is a advantage for all of us to rethink and refresh how to improve our conventional teaching system. spiritual, emotional, and also intelligent way. I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I would
The
like to move
technology. Yeah.
to the next question.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you, Aziz, for a nice presentation. In your opinion, how can we make teaching and learning effective virtually in architecture, especially the design studio classes?
Okay, this is the one that I share you just now. One of my friend, Dr. Zairul from University Putra Malaysia. He's the one who made a research and then came up with this methodology pedagogy. So for those academician, virtual teaching, I think is not different enough when you're talking about professional. But the only different is about the soul touching each other. I mean, you can accommodate face to face. You can accommodate to draw in front of the students. Even student also need that kind of input. But if you can make up a method that student have to work each other among the team, you give a task so that they can start to discuss among them friends. So it's a parallel methodology by not only virtually in the studio classes, but they can move as a group. So what I'm trying to do is have done my practicing professional class. What we have done, we giving a task online to all the candidates. They have a groups, and then they have to make an online system with the group, come up with a solution, come up with the result, and then virtually to present through online. And then not only talking about physically, face to face, but spiritually, you already uh, giving a task how to study as a group, how to study as a team. This is one of my opinion about how to make improve teaching and learning in the pedagogy method system, because it's going to be effective during virtual. This is my opinion, my humble opinion. Giving a task for the student, not only individual, but as a group, so that they can know how to communicate each other during online, during the screen, and then they can have a result as a group, not as an individual. They will be a beautiful. There's only one of my idea, my opinion.
Okay. Another question. How institute faculty should come up after this pandemic of COVID-19, I mean as a preparation?
Right. Okay. For the institute and faculty, okay, I just share what I've done to one of my client. The circulation of our institute, our faculty have to be adjustment. Yeah, especially your ingress, egress, the way you coming in and then the way you came out. Certain SOP, schedule of procedure for the taking the temperature and so on. And then the way the sitting have to be adjust, have the social distance and so on. And then there's I believe in future, this coming years, there's no such thing that you need to be comfort a lavish special space anymore. You need to define a space to become multiple usage. It become compact living. It doesn't mean that a studio become only a studio. A studio can become a meeting point. A studio can become a studio can become a classroom with a different type of teaching method and so on. So the faculty need to be ready all this SOP besides sanitizer, besides temperature and so on. But the layout, yeah, need to be prepared how to accommodate the space. And then one more thing, the operating system obviously should be different. It can be batches by batches, not going to be a big crowd. But there's a lot more I can explain maybe through online for the next future. Maybe you can browse to my Facebook or in my Instagram. There's a certain preparation for not only institute, not only faculty, but to all any category of building as well.
Thank you. Our next question.
Yeah.
Young generation students, they are not willing to come out from their comfort zone. What could be our roles as a teachers to motivate our students?
Right. Dalai Lama advised us before, if you want to teach our kids, it's not about teaching the method, teaching the mind only, but you need to teach by heart. So our roles is going to be beyond. It's not going to be a teachers. It's not going to be as a motivator. There is an extra rules that you're going to be a mentor. So when talking about mentor, I'm sorry to say, it's not about to scold them. It's not about to punish them. You need to find the alternative how to make them rise and then raise up their positive mindset so that they can move forward. Because students, I can tell you, they're allowable to do mistake, and then make sure when they done mistake or they face failure, the most important part for us as a teacher, as a motivator, is make sure how they want to rise up. It's not about to get hit, it's about how you get hit and how to raise up and move forward and move forward. This is my advice to all the academicians and teachers. I understand there's another extra task for us, but if you looking from your heart with the sincerity, we're going to be okay. We're going to be healthy. We're going to be happy. I mean, this is my opinion. Ajana.
Next. Hello, sir. I really wanted to ask why our economically growing cities still don't have planned urbanization despite having a growing number of architects in the country. And does urban planning only means urban expansion or features demolishing of the overpopulated areas?
Okay, this is a very unique question. Let me repeat the question. He really wanted to ask why our economically growing cities still don't have planned urbanization despite having a growing numbers of architects in the country, and does urban planning only means urban expansion or features demolishing or overload? Okay, this is a very unique question. When you're talking about a population, this is the things that for me is a blessing when we have this kind of pandemic situation, so that we can realize and we can relearn, we can pause and how to learn from here. So for me, I don't believe anymore about a certain profession that their own task. For example, architects, your task is only designing a building. Interior design, you just concentrate the spaces inside of the space. Planner, you have to concentrate how to plan yourself. Urban design, have to create your urban. So everybody have their own task. What I'm trying to, this is my opinion, yeah. I believe on collaborations. All the profession need to sit down and then talk each other. You have to share your thoughts so that you can come out with one vision together, because this is a very essential for all of us when you're talking economical growth and the cities is catching up and then it's not unplanned. So you need to sit down with all profession, especially architects, urban designer, planner. So this is my experience when I went to Taipei from Taiwan. Yeah, Taiwan last 20 years ago is not going to be is the city is unsafe, is very untidy, the rivers is very polluted and so on. But after 20 years, I can tell you is the most safest cities in the world, because during midnight, my friend and myself, when we walk to having supper, we can saw one little girl just came back from tuition from the school to going home alone. So means that the city is so safe. And the river last time was polluted and become so beautiful and become place a new place making, because the profession over there, even the government over there, thinking about when you start to create a space, it's not about economic anymore. You're creating a space for people, for society. That's my opinion about this question. We need to collaborate and always come back. The main factors is about we serve for people. There you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Another question. Thank you for inspiring us. I would like to know what are your or even Malaysian students' design process during the pandemic, especially focusing on thesis design when working online?
Right. Okay. Doing thesis during this pandemic situation, the student have to be very strong on mind, body, and soul. You not depend on whatever you know. It's not depend on the timing that you have to produce, because you need your own spiritual part on the topic that you want to find out, that you really interest into it. What I'm trying to say, the spiritual part. I don't want to go detail about the progressive, how they works and so on. The main thing is about what is your interest. You need to find the love what you're doing. It's not to just to pass and so on. So in Malaysia, the progress of doing thesis, they have a certain task. It kind of very busy. I can tell you it's like working 24/7. That's why I came up with this study about the Pomodoro methods. We need to work during 25 minutes to half an hour, and then you should take breaks for 5 minutes and then you continue it. Because doing thesis 24/7 is unhealthy. So what I'm trying to say to you in Malaysia, and you share with the Nepalese students, when you do the master thesis and so on, you need to drive in your manner that, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You know what I mean? You need to deal with your task at certain timing, do your research in timing, and then you do your drawing in certain timing. Don't be so rush. So what I'm trying to say, you need to demarcate your task one by one with a certain period of time, and you need to prioritize which one to go first. So what I'm trying to say, another angle is, students always set their mind that they want to finishing their one task to achieve 100% completion. No, during pandemic you cannot do that kind of a method. During pandemic, whenever you have one task up to 60 to 70%, you need to move on to second task already. You cannot wait until finish 100%. So what I'm trying to say again here, you need to finish up your task with a certain demarcation percentage, and you need to prioritize another task for one time. So that's the thing, that working online, you have to be very, if not, you're going to be stressful. You're going to be stressful.
Okay. And the next question, probably similar to earlier questions. How design studio classes are running in Malaysian Architecture Institute in this pandemic?
Okay, same here in Nepal. Just now, before we start, I discussed with Architect Achana, even with Dr. Barat, with the President Anjumada. Same. During pandemic, every classes, every design studios, all through online. Even the university in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia also, the student cannot go to the faculty yet, cannot go. And maybe the government start to open up, maybe a certain batch, maybe a master student, a final year student can go to the physical, but yet still no operation yet. So everybody working, studying online now in Malaysia.
Thank you. Another is, rather than a question, I think it's like his or her view. Policing our creativity is a good thought, but online isn't solving every queries that can be better solved in class. Would you like to say something, or shall I move to another?
I can say this. I know this is a big challenges for all the students. My advice is, do your best, whatever you can ask, but don't retreat yourself. Don't be so frustrated that whatever question you cannot get answer. One advice to you is, prioritize the question. Prioritize the task, which one you to go ahead. You know what I mean? You need to ask your tutor during online, because you have to remember, your lecturers, your professor, they have a huge task as well. Can you imagine, need to entertain the whole students in the studio? Cannot entertain one student for 2-3 hours, no way. So student, you have to understand, you need to prioritize what question you want to ask first, because you don't save the best for the last. You know what I mean? You have to ask the question first. So if you got opportunity to get the answer, that's it. That's the best you could do. The other question that you cannot ask and then you cannot get the answer, the best is you need to discuss with your friends, with your group, get their opinion. So that's why I'm trying to say, let's move as a team, Achana.
Thank you. Next, what could be the existing knowledge gaps during this pandemic which would require the additional research in the field of architectural designs?
Okay, Sushanta, okay. What could be the existing knowledge gaps during this pandemic which would require the additional research in the field of, okay. I'm not sure about this question. Maybe the grammar is hardly to understand, but I'm trying my best to understand here. She's asking that the existing knowledge during pandemic, what would require the additional research? Okay, the additional research, what I can answer to you, Sushanta, is you need to improve your soft skill. For example, if you are weak sketches, so take this blessing time to improve your sketches. If you're weak on the technical, take this time to browse internets, Google, and books, how to improve your technicals understanding. The main thing is about communication skill, because this opportunity, you need to improve how to make presentation online, because most of the students in Malaysia, when they have opportunity to present online, they're giving a task about 15 to 20 minutes, but they're dragging until 40 how to which one to present first and so on, and become monotonous. So the marketing skill are very weak. So you have to remember, take this opportunity to find this research of the field, how to improve your soft skill. There's a lot. You can list down a lot of soft skill. You can browse internet. Just now I just shared one screen there. Define that. Okay, Susanta. All the best to you, Susanta.
Next,
Next.
how to work smart in architecture. After all, you work so hard and get frustrated when design is not being done.
Okay. Pooja, listen this. To answer you, you have to understand this. It's not about to get a good grade, a good results. That's another episode. A lot of students, when you want to study, or I want to be the best, I want to get a grade A, of course, yes. But for me, I'm looking for the beautiful process. Whatever you do your best, okay? You work so hard. For me, I don't believe working so hard. I always believe working smart, hardly. You know what I mean? If you work so hard but not smart, pointless. You need to define how to work smart, hardly, and then don't get frustrated about if you design not being doing well or what. But that's the process to achieve success. Appreciate the failure as well. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say, open up and ask your heart, ask yourself, do you define your sincerity? Because whatever result came out, whatever you sincere to yourself, whatever result you have, the most important things is about your self, what we call this, satisfaction. Define that first. If you're not satisfied, move on to find the satisfaction. Still not to define it, move on, move on. That's the reality process as an architect. I hope you understand, Pooja. Yeah? Thank you. Achana, okay, you're mute. Okay, all right.
I'm insecure about this architecture journey.
Okay.
To engage into the real practical world, practicing our designs in the near future.
Yeah.
How to stop thinking about those things early?
Okay. To tell you, my dear student, I don't know who is it. Architecture journey is the most beautiful journey. Do appreciate it, because we are the unique profession. So whatever you engage to the real practical world, or even your designing or everything, it's not about to think what happened in tomorrow. So my answer to you, always inspired by the past, build for the future, because towards to the success is about journey. And remember this, the road to achieve success is always under construction, you know. So you have to go one episode to one episode and observe yourself. Towards the end, architecture journey, as my opinion, is beautiful. If you feel frustrated and so on, you have to define yourself to inspire yourself to move on. Like I said to you just now, you should be proud of yourself when you become an architect of this journey. So go and think about this. Okay, Ajana. All right.
Yes. Do you
Okay.
think after this pandemic comes under control, the way the students, architects explore the design solution need to be refined to cater the future pandemic possibilities?
Yeah.
Or will this episode remain just a part of history with only a momentary hype and designs will just evolve the way they have been?
Right. To answer this question, this is my opinion. This is a new normal. And I can tell you this new normal will become a normal in our life. Whatever happened here during this pandemic situation, hopefully with God willing, we can have a vaccine to accommodate this pandemic. Maybe it takes many years. I can tell you that. WHO also announced we could take about 3, 4, 5 years. We don't know, with God feeling. But on the process of this scenario, this will be our life already. You, students, myself, architect Achana, said this our life generation. This is our new normal generation already. We're gonna face a lot of things after this. Not only about situation of online and everything. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I showed this now. That's like the way you dress or different already. I couldn't see Achana now on the screen. Maybe in physically, I only can see her eyes only. Who knows? I'm talking about the dress code. Only one task only dress code. The others, I'm not sure. Maybe the way we eating are different. The way we walk also are different. So because of this, this possibility, I can tell you, you need to open your heart and get ready to face this. This is a new kind of a new life already. That's my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next. Hello, sir. As you
Yes.
mentioned before about the flexibility of designs in building brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, what
Yeah.
kind of drastic advancements do you think is going to be in the construction of lightweight architectures and the several built environments?
Okay. What kind of drastic advancement do you think is going to be in the construction of lightweight architecture and several built environment? Well, you have to remember this when you're talking about construction factors. Architects one kind of situation because we are working at the office, student working in the studios and so on. But during construction, the workers, they are the one who build our design scale one to one. You have to remember that. They also have a certain challenges, a certain limitation. Maybe the working hours may be reduced because whenever you want to go to the site, there's a certain SOP, standard of procedure, how to make sure you go to the site with the mask, temperature taking, with the protective PPE and so on, and the working had to a different method and so on. And then when they finish their task, it's not going to be like a normal 24 hours working. If possible in China, it could be happen. They can make building in a few weeks, but I'm not sure about the global because the lightweight construction will be limited. But when I believe this technology and the intellectual, we come out with a very a proper coordination dimension. We come out with a plug-in industrial building system, plug-in and very fast. So that's my opinion about this. A flexible design will be go on and will be improved, and there will be get ready will be a lot of innovation ideas in the lightweight architectures, especially for environments.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question. Could you differentiate the merit demerits of physical visualization sensation versus virtual visualization? What kind of architectural graduates our educational institutions should produce after this pandemic?
Okay, this is a good question from Shashi. Okay, I don't know. You better, maybe you know, or maybe you go and browse. There's a certain technologies called VR, visualization, and so on. Last 5 years ago, I did delivered this talk. The title called "Changing Scenario of Generation Z Architects," and I declared to the audience during my research. I said that maybe I'm going to be the most craziest architect to put this statement. Maybe they said I'm a movie freak, watching all these Marvel's movie, Iron Man, and so on. But the movies inspired us. There will be a certain situation that one day, I'm not sure that you agree with me, one day the architects will work at home with a certain gadgets, and then when you meet up your clients, there is a certain hologram come out, and then they can produce a design in a very short time of period. This technology will come. I can imagine during that time in future, when you want to do model, it's like open up microwave, put the materials, bling, in a few seconds, come out with the models. Even they can introduce this model in hologrammatic so that the client or the user can feel the space into it. So this is differentiate of physical visualization with the sensation. This is kind of a student can need to observe the opportunity and expectation of this technology. For example, I think Dr. Barat declared to me just now 1964 when he went studied in Kuala Lumpur in Matap Technical. During that time, doctor, you don't have any mobile phone. You don't have any mobile phone. But I still remember during my time, 1996, in Malaysia have a big size of phone, Nokia BX. But in Japan, they already come out a small size of phone with radio and color screen. And we was like, oh my God, the smallest phone and everything. But now, everybody can afford this touch screen phone with a smartphone and everything. But I believe one day there's a technology come with a hologram and architectural physical visualization will be improved. And then you don't need to go to the site and observe to the site. You're just using your visual VR, Google Street and so on, to feel the site. So for me, to advise to Shashi, go and browse this so that you know what is expectation in the market one day. That's my response to this question.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation.
Okay.
Most of the time we find ourselves lost linking our concept with design development phase. What would you suggest to minimize such gap?
Okay. To Subecha, is it Subesha? Maybe you were gonna laugh at my response. Most of the student, even architects, the most of the time that we can have idea concept, besides went to the site, but mostly we're gonna define our concept in the toilet. Okay, when you saw your grid line from the floor tiles and everything, from the wall tiles, you can inspire yourself during your business in the toilet. But when you to define your time, to define your concept, to your development, go and find the inspiration. Because for me, inspiration will drive me to embark my concept, my idea. I'm not sure in Nepal, but I can imagine myself if I'm in Nepal, I want to find my concept, because in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia, most of my time to get my idea, my concept is from nature. When I mental block, I always go to the side back, and it's like you're gonna say I'm a crazy architect. You're gonna talk with nature. You're gonna talk to the trees. You're gonna talk to the side. You're gonna talk to the hills. You're gonna talk to the grass, so that you can illuminate your idea. And then don't forget, bring your sketchbook and everything to derive your concept. Because always remember, the problem about students, Achana, when they have concept, during progress, they have new concept, they change the concept. And they keep changing one time to another. There's a very common student. I'm not sure in Nepal, but in Malaysia, I'm sure students during along the line to improve their concept, to embark your concept, but suddenly they got a new concept, they change, they throw away the initial concept. Do not do that. For me, I always believe your initial idea, your initial concept is about how to progress it to become more beauty and more mature. Just improve your concept. Don't change your concept in the middle of your progress. So for me to respond this, get the inspiration. How to get inspiration? There's so many ways. Sometimes you just singing, you can write poetry, you can just watch movie, you can watch Hindustan, you can watch Hema Malini singing, you can get idea. You can go to the site, talking to the trees. Maybe you will say, who's the crazy person talk to the trees? It's okay. I'm a nature man. I'm an artist. I'm talking to the nature to derive my concept. It's okay. As long you happy and enjoy your progress. That's my answer to Shubecha.
Thank you. And the next one is, what do you think about how this architecture career will grow in next 10 years?
Right. I can tell you the architecture career is the most beautiful career. It doesn't matter in 10 years time or maybe 20 years time or maybe 100 years time. If you reflect the past, if you learn history architecture, the progressive revolution of from Byzantine, from Gothic, Renaissance, Baroque, modern architecture, or even during those days, pyramids time, is about progressive. So for me to answer this question, architecture career, we grow better and better because we are artists and we are scientists. We are innovator because architecture itself is about art and science. We're gonna be better and better. That's my response. Not only for 10 years, maybe it come to many centuries in front. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next one, could you explore your thought? How could we inspire our students to get into generate passion in design studio class?
Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure about others. This is my way. Okay, I just share my humble opinion to inspire our students. Not only because about your thinking, about your thoughts. I always open my ears and listen to what the students' voices as well. Because I always believe in this life is about symbiosis. It's like the trees and human being. It's like the trees giving the oxygen and we give a carbon dioxide to the trees, and it's that circulation. So as a student and the lecturers, we need this circulation so that you can allow students say their things, and then you can train, guide them without this kind of a negative anger and so on. Because I understand we have a lot of pressure. You need to be soft. You sometimes students, I can tell you, I have to warn you, all the students, the most enemies in our self is egoistic and arrogance. So you as a student, you also need to be humble to yourself, respect to your teachers, respect to the professor, because they are your guidance. And the teacher also have to appreciate the appreciation, the respectation from the students, so that you can hear what their voices, what their concern, and then you keep sharing in the manner of how you want to deliver. So my answer to this question is about exploration, perspective, is about symbiosis. We need each other so that we can believe the knowledge will circulate safety, healthy, and happiness. This is about my opinion in the design studio class. All my students keep in touch with me, and then they're all success, and they still remember how the method of when you care the students' concern in the manner of deliver. Besides, some of the lecturers very harsh, very strict. I understand we can do that, but for me, it's about your emotional things. That's I can answer to Shashi. Thank you.
Thank
Next
you.
question.
I think this session is going more interactive because we are more and more questions, and it's not the name of everyone.
I
So
feel
I
like
think
I feel like Google now, Achana. People start and I ask to respond this. But it's okay. I just do my best. It's only my opinion. I
yeah,
might not be the best. I might not be the best, but I just give my opinion.
okay. We
Yes.
are running out of time, so I'm taking only 2 questions now.
Okay. Okay. Acha.
Okay. Thank you, sir. This session was really inspiring. My question is that sometimes during the design process, working on the project, suddenly it comes to an halt and I cannot move forward. Is this typical? What can I do to solve this?
Okay. Oh, you didn't put the name. This is a very normal. Yeah. It's for me. Okay. Let me share you this. Living as an architect, we cannot run away from facing failure most of the time. We always face failure all the time because failure is become our blood and vein already. You're gonna face failure every day to become an architect. So don't be worried about facing failure. Don't be worried about to feel how and how to move forward. That's the beautiful part of our life as an architect. And coming back to the students is a very common, is a very normal. Don't worry. whatever it is, my advice to you, you just enjoy and appreciate. Even though you mental block, even though you feel, oh my God, I don't know how to move forward, go and find your inspiration. Go and find your how to find your mojo. You find your interest into it. Then you need to move forward. Don't afraid about failure. You feel mental block, take a break. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. What I'm trying to say just now. You move forward a bit. Oh my God, you got something I need to solve. Step back. Maybe you take a break. Pomodoro method just now. That's what I'm trying to say. You need to breaking your mind by looking nature, for example, listening to the music. But you need to control yourself. So this thing is it's not a problem. I have to correction your question. What can I do to solve this problem? It's not a problem. It's a part of the journey. It's a part of the process. It's not a problem. It's a very common. So do appreciate and enjoy your journey. Okay? Okay, Achana. Wow, a lot of questions, yeah? Very good.
Now, I would like to read out the last question.
Okay.
Lots of questions. I think we will have probably days to solve all these questions.
It's okay. Maybe after this pandemic, 1 or 2 years come, I will drop by to Kathmandu and then can face to face your students. It's okay.
Yeah, our pleasure.
This is the best what we could do. Okay. All right. Let's go for the last question here. Yeah. All right. Acha, go.
In your opinion, what kind of roles can be played by an architect during this lockdown? Also, what sort of preparedness can we make to deal with situations like this in future, especially for developing countries?
Okay. My opinion. Our roles as an architect during this lockdown, we are the idol. We are the example profession. No matter what happened in the world, we are the dream makers. So we don't stop doing nothing. We find the ideas, we keep innovating the ideas, we start to share to society, start to talk to people, how to improve our lifestyle, how to improve building industry, how to improve our building professions, keep moving forward. I just share with you, Kusum Dahal, during pandemic, of course, everybody was like panic. The first week is like, oh my God, it's a kind of, you cannot go out from home. You know, the police will arrest you if you go out from home. The first week, for as a normal human being, you need to immune yourself. So I sleep for 1 week. Can you imagine that? I feel that, oh, it's the best opportunity that I can sleep the whole week. Then after a week, after you rest yourself, during a week you rest yourself, I can play my music, I can do my poems, I can improve my arts, and then after that, and then you need to be creative how to do something during pandemic, because the works has been stopped, everything's locked down, businesses is problematic during time. So myself and my partner, I think Achana met him before, Architect Rida, we make initiative to do a first webinar session talking about how to improve our profession in the webinar session. After one day to another, after one day, and then we make online classes to those young architects who want to take a professional exam. So that kind of example that we as an ideal towards to a profession, as for society, architecture is about helping people. Architecture is about helping society. We are the important role for the country, for the life actually. So that's my opinion to Mr. Kusum Dahal. Yeah, don't stop doing nothing. I mean, you need to find. I mean, this is my opinion. This is my example. I do something. So we make research, and then you type your research, and then share to people, circulate in the Facebook, talking in the YouTubes, make a webinar session, because you can't do nothing. You only do online, and then come up with the idea, and then create a business sentiment about how to improve digitalization, how to improve communication through verbal to the student. You browse internet, you browse YouTube, you make your own TV show, you're talking about how to do placemaking, how to make people realize how to do recycled materials, to make reduced materials, how to make creative way. There's so many things. Architects is a beautiful profession, I can tell you. So that's my opinion about this, Kusum. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, Achana, seems that many questions we can answer, but it's okay. I can advise those students who want to ask the question, you can put it in my Facebook, and I'll try my best to answer one by one. It's okay, no problem.
That's an alternate way.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Adrenta. And I would like to end up this question answer session now. And I would like to request our Bharat sir to speak something to our students. Bharat sir, can you hear me?
More than speaking to the students, first of all, let me congratulate Dato Aziz. It
Thank
was
you so much.
simply very illuminating presentation, really very enriching experience I had with you, and tremendous the philosophical aspect of education, ontological aspect, pedagogical aspect, and then our duty as teachers and duty of the students in this context. And first of all, let me congratulate you for selecting the theme. The challenge should create something new innovation. That is a great thing. That is a great thing. When I was at Harvard, let me tell you one thing. Philip Johnson, once he came for guest lecture and told us that, see, in our days when Walter Gropius used to be the dean of the institute, we used to make two sets of design, one for our own satisfaction and one for our stupid teacher. So this is the area where we really, the creativity has no frontier. It's good. But having said that, let me ask you one question. In this, there has to be paradigm shift, but in context of Asian countries where socio-cultural relationship is so gregarious, so how do you respond to that kind of habitat in this change context with innovative architecture? That is a very big challenge for we architects, I guess. Because we have in worship, in masjid also, we do in group. So similarly, Christianity, they worship in group. So how do you, and our society, Eastern society is very gregarious. So how do you break away from that and start something in new dimensions? That is my offbeat question to you.
Thank you, Dr. Bharat. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I'm just trying my best. I just do my best to deliver this to your students in Nepal. I might not be the best, but I just do my best to deliver this because through online is kind of a limitation, but I hope it can beneficial to all students. But coming back to your concern just now, my answer sounds very cliche, I'm not sure, but I always believe as an architect to deal this kind of situation, what you concerned just now, it's just because of reflection to ourselves actually. It's about ourselves. Yeah. So I have to declare this, not only architect's profession, maybe other profession as well. Yeah. The most enemy things that inside ourselves is about our arrogance, it's about our ego. Yeah. If you can start to believe and listen from your heart and then listening to the people and then putting a bit humbleness into yourself, I think everybody going to be okay. Because to be an architect, dealing with people is another big challenge here. It's not talking about dealing with other consultants. I mean, dealing with engineers, dealing with the mechanicals, dealing with your clients, dealing with your authorities, even dealing with your staff, dealing with the students. But the most common things, how to deal with yourself. So for me, all this concern, not talking about beyond that, not talking about future innovation or a lot of things, especially about technologies, people start to have a wrong perception, start to become negative, chaos and everything. Everything reflections about ourselves. We as a human being, if we realize that how small we are compared to the nature, compared to whatever God created, and we start to realize and to respect each other, to respect the nature, I think the world, our profession will be peaceful and everybody will be happy and healthy. That's my opinion,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Great.
you. Thank you,
You
Adrinda.
design with nature, have a symbiotic relation.
Exactly.
Thank
Nice
you,
to meet
Bharat.
you, doctor. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Bharat sir. Adrinda,
Yes.
this is our motivational webinar. I would like to take one more question.
Yes.
Hello, sir. How to
Yeah.
keep yourself motivated when you are stuck during design process, and how to work calmly or stresslessly when you are working with deadlines?
Okay. Very good question from Akriti. Yeah. Okay. To become an architecture student, you have to believe yourself. Yeah. With your dreams, your inspiration, with your idea from your head, from your mind, from your soul, you have to believe it's going to be achieved. That. So to achieve this, to appreciate this journey, to appreciate this process, you need to be sincere to yourself first. Once you sincere to yourself, then you can fronting a lot of challenges and so on. To be calm and then not to be stressful, because we are normal human being. We are not perfect. But when we have a stress, and then as myself, I'm a normal human being. Don't tell me that people like us cannot be stressed. We should be stressed. But how to control your stress? Find a way to be calm. Maybe like myself, when I mental block, when I feel stressed, I find my other interests to restart my mind. For example, I make music, I singing, maybe I like doing poems. I continue my arts paintings, and I go watching movies. I meet people, the veterans people, the aunties outside, talking with people to need to listen their opinion and so on, to calm down my stress. Because you have to remember, in this life there is a junction that you face that sometimes you don't know where how to proceed. It's about how to control yourself emotionally, intelligently, and spiritually. Talking about deadlines, let me advise to you. If you have any experience how to catch the flights, when you catch the flights, it's always like 2 hours before departure. Am I right? If you cannot come to the 2 hours before departure, you're going to miss the flight. So same goes to your progress. I always encourage my student, I encourage my staff, and also myself, always like 2 days before deadlines, you need to be ready to be a man, to print it. You know what I mean? So you need to get ready. Myself, I always, when I was student, I always become a first presenter. I have no choice. 9 o'clock sharp, you have to paste on the wall already. So for me, it's a blessing. It's trained me how to be progressive in advance. So my advice to you, let's say, for example, your deadlines is on Thursday. Okay? Supposedly on the paper brief, said the deadline on Thursday, your actual deadline is on Tuesday, 2 days before deadline. At least you done your part. So got 2 days contingency plan. You can do some amendment, can do some additional, can improve your models, can do your SketchUp and everything in 2 days. Do not set your mind the deadline is on Thursday. You set your deadline on Thursday, it happened that you're gonna be a late submitter. Be punctual, yeah, be professional into this. So that's my response to Akriti Pokrel. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, every individual is capable in their own and just needs a time and a moment to present it outside. As
Correct.
our speaker said, architecture education gives cognitive development, the ability to occur with their own knowledge.
मम्मीलाई ह्यापी बर्थडे भन्नु भने होला मम्मी छैन म भनिदिउँला
So good.
ल म कन्भे गरिदिउँला ल अहिले त म अहिले
Okay.
Yes, it's probably a time to change all ideas to generate unique inventions. I'd like to request all the architecture students not to stress out of this pandemic, but stimulate oneself. Now we are at the end. On behalf of SONA, I would like to thank architect Adrianta for the inspiration and sharing your valuable time with us despite of the busy schedule and from a distance. And this really makes feel like world is united. I would like to thank our Bharat sir and all the participants and viewers to join us. Stay connected with SONA FB page for coming events. Stay healthy, stay happy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Achana. Hajun Kodin Ram Rohos, yeah?
Yeah.
Dato Aziz, all the best.
Thank you, Doctor. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye, everybody. Hoping to see you soon. Be safe. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All the best, students. Bye.
Advanta, are you there?
Adrenta?
Yes, hi.
I think
Hiding.
you're the host right now. So can you please log off the Facebook Live?
Okay, hold on a minute. All right, huh?
Thank you so much, Adrianta.
Oh, President, my goodness.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was really inspiring.
Oh my God. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Dragging the time.
No, it's okay. We would have wanted to take in all the questions, but it was going a bit too long.
Yeah,
We
it's okay.
take 3 questions, only 3 questions.
But it's good response from the student.
Yeah. We are all inspired.
Oh my God. I'm so shy about this. I just do my best. So sorry. I'll just do my best.
No, it was really good.
Advanta, I think we're still live on Facebook. Can we switch that off?
Okay, so what should I do now?
I think you are the host right now. So please, can you look at the bottom of your screen? You have that a more kind of thing.
Okay, wait. Hold on a minute, yeah?
Just nearby the share screen, record, and then.
Oh my God. Where should I do? Okay, Abhishek, you guide me now?
No, so can we log off and then log in again?
Okay. We come back again, yeah? Okay. All right, thanks.